Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be she wants time apart to forget and reprocess things, but hasn't dumped me. So, this particular email is from a viewer who you could tell he got lazy, he got away from what he learned in the book. He quit his job without having another one lined up, got on unemployment, and then just kind of got lazy and neglected himself, neglected his relationship. And it looks like his girlfriend was really patient and really put up with a lot of BS for a couple of years. They were together 3 years total. Things were good for about the first 2 years, and then that's when he decided his job was stressing him out. So he upped and quit. He didn't have anything else lined up. And on top of that, he would promise to do things. He'd promise he's going to go over and see her, and he just would not follow through. And so now after she said she wanted space, that was like back at the end of November. Last time they saw each other was the beginning of December, but he says, hey, we're still in contact every other day. But it looks like she's reaching out, and he's not arranging any get-togethers, and it just looks like the dude is like checked out, like he's just a zombie. He's not fixing himself, definitely not courting her properly, and so he's kind of in limbo. And so this is kind of like an email where you just see it's like learned helplessness. And he's just, you got to participate in your own rescue. It's like he's waiting for somebody to come save him and fix him, but he's got to do that himself. So it just shows you that as a man, if you stop displaying signs of being competent as a man and you stop dating and courting a girl properly, you can tell. I mean, again, this woman just like, she seems like a saint because she just put up with it for years. And eventually she had enough. And it looks like she's still, one of the reasons why she wants space is she's like, well, maybe we can try again in the future. And it's like she's giving him the opportunity to get his shit together, but he's just not. He's just kind of flailing around. So he says, hi, Coach. I've been following your work for quite a while now, and I've read 3% Man 5 times, and I've watched many of your videos. My girlfriend of 3 years wants time apart so she can forget and reprocess things, but hasn't broken up with me. Is the relationship salvageable? Well, you got to participate in your own rescue. You can't expect your girlfriend to fix you and to fix your relationship when you're not even willing to do anything to help yourself. Because you get about 6 to 12 months to flail around. As I've discussed, it looked like you flailed around for 6 to 8 months before your girlfriend was ready to potentially tap out. So you got to get back to being the guy you were that you fell in love with. That means you got to get a job. It means you got to take care of yourself. I think he did say he got a job, but doesn't look like he's exercising or taking care of himself. And she's reaching out, but he's not even arranging any get-togethers. He says, or is it time to move on? Well, if she's still open to hanging out, having fun, and hooking up, then you can turn things around. But if you just keep letting her reach out every couple of days and then you just stay on the phone like her emotional tampon or her therapist, you'll make it really easy for her to move on and meet another guy. So if you don't date and court your girl, eventually somebody else is going to come along and do it for you. Is she putting me on the back burner so she can shop around and find someone else? Well, again, if she's reaching out every couple of days, she's still pursuing. And if a woman is pursuing you, she ain't getting rid of you. But if she keeps reaching out and you do nothing but just talk to her and act like her therapist, well, eventually she will meet somebody else and will move on. He says, or does it sound like she generally just needs some time to think about stuff? Well, it looks like she's given you the space to turn your life around, but quite frankly, it looks like she's kind of given up on you because ultimately it looks like you've given up on yourself. I mean, how is a woman supposed to trust you to bring home the bacon? Let's say you have a family with her. What's she supposed to do? Wait for you to grow up? Wait for you to get your life together? It's like, when's that going to happen? When you're 90? We both live in different cities, about 45 minutes from each other, and I also have a 10-year-old son that lives for me. Now think about the example you're setting for your son. You lose your job and you just flail around and you're lazy and you do nothing. What do you think your son's going to grow up to do? He's going to model what you are displaying for him at home. I'll start from the beginning. 3 years ago, I met my girlfriend on Facebook dating, and at the time, I wasn't really looking for a relationship and was focusing on work and my goals. Then she found me and reached out to me. We started talking on the dating app. Had a lot in common. She gave me her number a couple days later. We talked a bit and then set up our first date. We met and instantly meshed and had a lot more in common than I initially thought. He puts a comma after every one of these sentences. It's like a giant run-on sentence. I could just hear my middle school English teaching on, it's a run-on sentence. A week went by, talked to her again, set up a second date, had a great time, hung out, had fun, and hooked up at her place. Fast forward, 9 weeks later, she wanted to be exclusive. Everything was great. She was head over heels in love with me. Did a lot for me and spoiled the crap out of me. Always wanted my attention and my time and my presence. Well, when a woman's in love, she wants your attention all the fucking time. Constantly. Constantly, to the point where it gets kind of annoying. I was working a lot and it involved traveling, which was hard on her at times because this time she was not working. I have a lot of hobbies and sometimes I would get lost in them trying to decompress from my stressful job at the time. So like he was just checked out. Not dating, not courting her properly. And so initially, the time you guys were dating, she's constantly trying to get your attention and your validation, and you're mostly checked out and kind of ignoring her. There's a time limit on that. Months passed, and I was indifferent, choosing my hobbies over her sometimes, and not managing my time properly and finding balance with said hobbies. She would get me things and try to bribe me to stay, and at the time, I didn't see I was actually hurting her and making her not feel heard or special or that I really cared or loved her. This went on for quite a while. 2 years into the relationship, things started to get complicated. I quit my job of 5 years because the traveling became too much and I lost my truck due to traveling to work, and the pay wasn't worth everything that came with the job. I went on unemployment, became lazy, got complacent, and stopped courting my girlfriend and doing the important things. And focusing on my hobbies more than my relationship. Yeah, it's like you got to date and court your girl. Honestly, dude, it kind of looks like you're just not that into her. If I look at your actions, if this girl was knocking your socks off, you'd be loving to spend time with her. But instead, it's like you only want to get together when you want to bump uglies and get a release. And other than that, you just totally neglect her. That's what it looks like. I don't see any kind of passion. Because again, when we get to the end of the email, you see he's just not doing anything. So it looks like he's just not even into this girl. He says, I went on unemployment, became lazy, got complacent, and stopped courting my girlfriend and doing the important things, focusing on my hobbies more than my relationship. And during this time, she was starting a new career in corrections to become a correctional officer. She completed her training, got the job, and after that, our time was very limited to spend with each other because of how far we lived from each other and her crazy new schedule at work. Well, again, you made it work the first couple of years, but again, it looks like you really weren't making much of an effort. It was mostly her being into you. She was definitely more into you than you were into her, which is why she stuck around, because you were acting like a man acts. It's very easy to behave this way with somebody you're not that into versus somebody that knocks your socks off. And the whole idea, the title of the book is Winning the Heart of the Woman of Your Dreams, not how to get somebody that's mediocre and you're not really that into. She was tired all the time, became moody, and was forced to be more inner masculine because of the job, and me not making her feel safe and secure as a leader in the relationship and being a provider. Her attraction started to drop when we stopped being intimate as much. There was no time to go out on dates because of her schedule, and she didn't feel like going out ever after working all week and dealing with inmates. It's a stressful job. She expressed to me that things needed to change many times and warned me, but I didn't believe her, and I thought she was just stressed and being emotional. Man, I've heard that thousands of times over the last 20 years. I didn't think she was serious. I just thought she was being emotional. You can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. November 18th, 2025. I was supposed to go over to her place to hang out and spend some time with her, but I ended up not going because I felt like she didn't really want me over or really cared. Yeah, it sounds like Elvis had kind of left the building. It's like she was starting to realize you just weren't that into her. Well, she didn't take it too well because, again, you told her you were going to go hang out with her and then you just didn't show up. Just like you've done in the past when you decided to do your hobbies instead of spend time with your girl. You just can't do that, man. No relationship is going to survive if that's your effort. It's not going to work. She sent me a message that told me it's hard to talk to me because she feels like I get distracted and I don't understand. She told me before it's too late and that I messed up and that I wanted my time to myself and for her to fill in the blanks while she fell apart chasing me. She wanted to be loved, to be wanted, desired, to feel like I truly wanted her as a partner, a wife, and a future. Well, again, if I bottom line your actions, you're just not into this girl. That's what it really looks like. And that she respects that I have apologized for everything I put her through and I'm willing to change. Yeah, it's nice that you say you're willing to change, but you're not making any effort to change. And that it's rare for most men to realize and apologize and take accountability for their actions. But she doesn't know how to undo what has been done. 80% of our relationship has been pain for her. I broke her heart, her trust, and have scarred her in more ways than one, and that's hard for her to see me the way she once did. She doesn't feel safe or vulnerable around me anymore, and she's stuck being a hard ass because she's so sick of being hurt by me. She told me all I have done is used her to fill in time and handle the hard work, and she feels like my mother or a friend, not an equal half in the relationship. She's always showed up for me, but I was selective in showing up for her, and then I have proved many times that I don't love her, and that she has begged for me to show up and be present in the relationship to help with the mental load of building something together. He's like, yeah, dude, this has been going on for a long time. You're clearly not that into her, and honestly, if you're a real man and your balls have dropped, you should just let her go. And then I left her to deal with all the stuff, life stuff alone. She then proceeded to tell me that she doesn't hate me and that she always cared. She's just tired of things being this way. And that's why she thought having some time away from each other and maybe try again in the future to give me some time to figure stuff out on my own and give her a break. And that she hasn't given up or would have left a long time ago, but doesn't know what to do and still cares and will help me out when I need it, but thinks we need some time apart for a bit. And that she needs time to forget and reprocess stuff. Right now, it's January 5th, 2026. We see each other once since that message of her expressing how she feels. That was December 9th. I went over to her place and stayed for a couple of nights. We've kept in contact. She calls me every other day or every 2 days to check in and is still willing to see me. Well, as the book says, if she's reaching out, what does that mean? She wants to see you, make a date, hang out, have fun, and hook up. I haven't been pushy or needy or been pursuing her, making any effort to contact her. I let her come to me at her own pace, and I'm giving her space. Well, again, when a woman says she wants space and you give it to her, and then she reaches out, when she reaches out and breaks no contact, that means she had enough space. That means she probably wants to see you, and you should be making dates. So for the better part of the last month and a half, she's reaching out every other day, every couple of days. You talk to her like a therapist or the gay male girlfriend, and then you do nothing. So, again, I look at that. You're either acting like a zombie or you really just don't care. Because that's, from what she said, that's the way you've made her feel. And if I bottom line your actions, if I was talking to her and she was the one who wrote this email, I'd be telling her to move on because this dude's checked out. He's not really doing anything to help himself or save their relationship. It's like he just doesn't give a shit. I've been doing this whole relationship. The only time I didn't do it was a start to gain her interest, and then I let the magic happen on its own and let her come to me. Out of the whole 3 years, we haven't had any serious fights. We always talk to each other very calmly about our feelings and concerns. And she's really an amazing, smart, and beautiful woman. She's kind and giving. Doesn't have a bunch of male orbiters, doesn't go out, doesn't party, doesn't drink or do drugs, accepts treats and loves my son. She doesn't seek attention from other men and is super faithful. She does have some abandonment issues because of how her mother treated her while she was growing up. And she's been betrayed and cheated on in her past relationships and has some trust issues. But she's worth keeping around. Notice you don't hear him going, I really love this woman. This is the greatest girl I've ever dated. He's like, well, I got nothing else going on. I might as well keep this steady piece of ass. Well, my girlfriend's a butterface. Everything's nice, butterface. Even though he says she's beautiful. His tone is just bland. Just sounds like you're not that into her, dude. If you're not that into her, the manly and the masculine thing to do is to wish her well and encourage her to go find somebody who really does care for her. Because if I look at your actions, and again, if I was talking to her, I'd tell her to dump your ass. I really don't want to lose her. Do you think the relationship is salvageable? Or should I move on? I'd love to know your thoughts. Well, like I said, from your actions, it looks like you don't care. And the fact she's continually reaching out and you're not making dates. That doesn't make any sense. So if she's reaching out and you try to make a date and she says she just wants to talk and she wants space, and say, well, great, take all the space you need and then call me when you want to see me. Thanks again for all your work. It's definitely helped me realize a lot of things I've done wrong in the past and in this relationship. And I'm going to keep reading the book until I've retained everything to become a 3% man. Well, again, what should be happening is if you really, truly do want to get her back and you do want to see her, is that when she reaches out, you should be making dates. And if she won't make a date, just wants to talk, then just say, well, you're the one that said you wanted space. And so take your space, and then when you've had enough, reach out and let's get together. If you don't want to get together, then I'm going to move on and start dating other women. But from what it looks like here, she reaches out and he's like, oh, well, I'm giving her space. But you have to understand, you've been following me for several years. You give her space, you don't hear from her for a few days, and she reaches out. She got enough space. So just make the next date. This is a very simple thing to fix. But the fact that you're doing nothing either tells me you don't know what to do because you haven't been a good student of my work, or you just really don't want to see her because you don't give a shit. As you said, well, she's worth keeping around, coach. Doesn't really make my dick hard, but she's kind of nice. That's what it sounds like. Again, if you're not that into her, let the girl go and wish her well, and so she can find a man that really is excited to be with her and have her, because you clearly don't seem to give a fuck about her or even yourself for that matter. So, dude, you need to pull your head out of your butt, get into the book. I would also encourage you to read Mastering Yourself, because the way you're showing up about life is not healthy. Got to get your shit together, man. But again, if you don't care, let the woman go. If you do, just invite her over when she reaches out. And if she just wants to talk on the phone, tell her you want to see her in person. You don't want to have a phone ship. And if she doesn't want to see you in person, then maybe it's best that you both go your separate ways and you can go find somebody you really want to be with. Because if a woman's lighting you up on the inside, you're going to want to see her. And if she doesn't light you up on the inside, you're not going to give a damn. And quite frankly, it looks like you just don't give a damn because you're not that into her. But you'd rather hold on to her because, as you said, she's worth keeping around. Come on, man. So if you got a question or challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the coaching tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and book a coaching session with yours truly. If you haven't already signed up for our exclusive premium members-only content, in the video description of this video, there are links to join on YouTube, or you can join on Spotify, or our website, understandingrelationships.com. Just click the plans tab when you get there, and you can do a 7-day free trial to check out all the great content you get for your money. And if you choose an annual plan, you can get a 25% discount at the end of the 7-day free trial. So go to understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab, sign up for a free trial today. And until next time, all right, we'll talk to you soon.